Hey everybody, Destroyer here, back with another cast of Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02. Today we have a 5-player free-for-all on Belfalas. Once again, I put one of these up a bit earlier, month or whatever, but I'm not in this one. This one was recommended to me by Bushet. Who's this player here? And you may know who he is. He's a very good player, but he is the Men of the West there in the bottom right. And then over here in the middle-ish right, we have MauHuR. I'm sure you all know who MauHuR is as well. Extremely good player. And he's Goblins. In the top, we have Bad Judgment as Mordor, which this is exactly where he was in the same map, in the same team as when I played a 5-player free-for-all here. It's kind of amusing. We have MauHuR as the Elves in the top left, and our final player of the day is DJ Premier. I'm assuming he's part of the DJ clan, like DJ Parson. Yeah, and he is Mordor there. So yeah, this should be interesting. 5-player free-for-alls are excellent, I think. Well, free-for-alls in general are excellent. They're always a lot of fun. Anything can go wrong, or can go right, very quickly. You can get doubled, you can get tripled, or you could kill everybody and feel amazing at the end. Which is what happened to me. I didn't kill everybody, but I mean, I won mine. We'll see who wins this one. I'm quite curious. So, let's actually take a look and see what's going on here as I'm rambling. Bushet has put a barracks down. He's put it very close to his farm there to keep troops from getting between there, defending one side of it. He'll begin producing some warriors there. We have 2 goblin caves coming from MauHuR, so he will begin getting goblin spam and swarming the map with goblins, undoubtedly. Orc pit by Bad Judgment, which is not a bad judgment. It is a good call. Mirkwood. Curiously enough, his name is Mirkwood, and he is Elves. I guess that's quite fitting. But Mirkwood going with the barracks and going with some Lorien warriors. And what do we have over here? We have some orc pits. Orcs being produced out of both. He is capturing his in immediately, as he can get Easterlings for 250, which is 50 less, I believe, than normal. Our Palace. We do have a orc battalion here getting killed by some goblin warriors. Looks like Mordor actually claimed the inn in front of MauHuR's base, but MauHuR will quickly take that. And now we have some orcs coming into Bushet's base from DJ Premier. I'm just gonna call him Premier. Premier's base. And he'll begin whittling away at these farms. Although orcs don't stand much of a chance in a straight-up sword fight against the mighty swordsman here. Swordsman also engaging these goblins over here, although they will be picked off as there are goblin archers here. These goblin archers, you can actually set them in aggressive. And I always set my archers in aggressive, personally. I don't see any reason not to, unless they're about to be arrow volleyed or something. Or long shotted, I mean. Or trampled, whatever. But yeah, things are going to get a little hectic over here in Bushet's base, it seems. He is throwing down a archery range, so he will begin getting some archers fairly soonish, and he's also getting some spearmen, as he's going to need to... Well, there is a potential for cavalry. Also getting Dunedain Rangers, as he has captured it in. Dunedain Rangers are cheaper than Ithilians, so obviously you'll want to get them. Looks like he built a little too close to that goblin cave there. Ooh, lots of goblins here in Bad Judgment's base, taking out his slaughterhouses. It's going to be a pain. This might actually be difficult to deal with for Bad Judgment, as he doesn't actually have a whole lot. And by a whole lot, I mean he has nothing. He does have some orc archers here and some orc warriors. MauHuR getting a good surround on the fortress, throwing down a chain of land. Let's actually look at the powers real quick. It seems Bushet has rallied call. He can also hold 500 troops. Mirkwood the Elf, 650 troops, and rallying call as well. The Eye, obviously, from Mordor, and 500 point command limit. The Elves actually coming in here as well, picking off what remaining defenders Bad Judgment had, but deciding to run away. And yeah, we have that and that. We have 10 land and 500 command point limit. Let's see what's going on over here. It seems Bushet is creeping, destroying a goblin cave there. He will be engaging very quickly here. Let's just take a look. It looks like Mordor will actually fend this attack off, and he's getting lancers as well, which should help him against the goblin spam. And we have a big attack against the Bushet, against the Mordor Premier. Long shot going down, killing lots of that army. That sucks. And that's the power of these Dunedain Rangers and their ability at long shot at level 2. And as you see, Bushet just completely annihilated that Mordor army without much trouble. He's throwing down a statue here, possibly as a forward base. Doesn't look like he's actually attacking, which is curious. And it seems the Premier is actually being attacked up here as well by the Elves. So we're going to be taking this slaughterhouse indefinitely. Undoubtedly, I mean. Not indefinitely. That's definitely the wrong word. There's a lot of goblins in here from MauHuR. I wonder where he's going to be bringing them out. Let's see. Up here. Possibly to take out these Rotrum Lancers. Although he does need to be careful, because Rotrum Lancers actually can kill a lot of guys if he gets a good run through. Although they probably will get stuck in a clump. And it looks like Bushet is actually camping the outside of DJ Premier's base. This is quite dirty, but I approve very highly. So he's going to be building a statue here. He's not even attacking. He could destroy these buildings. He's choosing not to. He's trolling his opponent, which I find quite amusing. As you see there, the Rotrum Lancers doing pretty good work against these Goblin Warriors and Goblin Archers. They'll be pretty crucial for defending the lands of Mordor. He has got a buttload of these barricade expansions, as well as a fierce statue one. What are they called? Gatewatchers expansion. I always call them fierce statues, but that is not what they're called. We have a Glorfindel out for Mirkwood, so he can possibly go around and start harassing farms quite nicely. And it seems Bushet has actually decided to attack now. He destroyed that farm that was in the middle there, our slaughterhouse. There is a Boromir here now, as well. What he really should do is possibly throw down a well so he can heal up these troops. That would be a good call, I think. And yeah, definitely Lancers are needed here. He does have some, but he is command point capped, as you see. That will not finish. And he's going to need to be careful, though. There are pikemen in here. The inn getting knocked down there. See what's going on up here real quick. Some goblins fighting Glorfindel, not too much. Goblins fighting some base stuff over here as well. And here's the run through. Actually doing a ton of damage. These Lancers really doing their job. Slaughtering the army Bushet there. So all these archers are going to die. Boromir using his horn, though. That is going to freeze the army in place. That could be a problem for those Lancers, as Boromir will begin picking them off. So he does good damage. I think he one-shots them each hit. But Premier will begin to push back the army of the men. Although Bushet is definitely not giving up, bringing in reinforcements. Also bringing in a trebuchet there. That could be a problem. It looks like these Lancers are actually being killed by Goblin Warriors and Archers, which is not ideal. That sucks. Seems the only place really any action is going on is here, so we'll keep our eye out here for now. I'll keep an eye on the mini-map, though, just in case, as there is little skirmishes everywhere. Seems MauHuR actually deciding to get some cave trolls to try and take out this fortress. Also, cave trolls are extremely good against these cavalry. Now Bushet in a good position to take out this fortress. And DJ Premier is in a ton of trouble. He doesn't have the army necessary to take out this trebuchet, and it will begin whittling away at his fort. And he has a giant defense in front of it, so I think DJ Premier is in a lot of trouble. Let's see what the Elves are doing. The Elves now have what are these called? Noldor Warriors, which are extremely powerful. Also having Mirkwoods. Does he have upgrades yet? He does have Haldir. Looks like he just purchased them. So he's level 1. He doesn't have upgrades yet, but he will want silver thorns eventually. See what MauHuR's doing. Oh, he's amassing a cave troll army. This is bad news for Bad Judgment if that's the direction he's going. And it seems it is. While he runs up there, let's see what's happening here. Looks like a long shot's going down. Arrow volley possibly. Let's see what it was. That was not the power long shot. Alright, let's see how MauHuR's attack does. Oh, his fortress is toast. There's no way it's going to stand to that amount of attack trolls, or cave trolls. Bad Judgment. First person to lose his fortress. That is unfortunate. But I guess that's to be expected when you're next to a player like MauHuR. Not ideal. And MauHuR could be in trouble now as the Elves of Mirkwood deciding to attack him. And we begin peppering this tunnel here. He will retreat. Looks like deciding not to actually destroy the last building of Bad Judgment. Instead, returning to his base to try and save it. And the fortress still stands here, but everything else is pretty much getting destroyed at this point. And I think DJ Premier is going to be knocked out. Possibly first, if Bad Judgment doesn't get knocked out first, as he has one building. Looks like his builder is still alive though, so he will be retreating. Possibly to the same corner that he built in my game. That would be quite funny actually. It would be like watching the same game, as Bad Judgment did the exact same thing. He built an orc pit up here. Yes, he actually did build an orc pit up there. Amazing. So this is exact play of Bad Judgments as the same replay, or the same game that I played, which is strange, as it's two different games. But yep, DJ Premier's fort is slowly dying here. Definitely need some fire rock upgrades on these beasts, as it would be taking a lot less time. But as you might imagine, that is an expensive upgrade. And let's look at, oh yeah, Bushet space is quite safe. He has a couple wall hubs up here. I wonder if he's actually going to make a legit wall. I don't see any other reason for making two wall hubs, unless he's just protecting a side of the fortress or the structure itself. And this is the end of DJ Premier's base. His fortress does go down. Parson is or not Parson. Parson's not even in this game. Bushet expanding into his lands before his opponent's even dead yet. Although his builder is dying to this slaughterhouse. He needs to be careful. And is that the end? No, there's a couple orc pits up here. He's destroyed before he's defeated. It seems the elfin attack has either been repelled or retreated. It's hard to say. Looks like he has found DJ Premier's last builder. And DJ Premier will be swiftly knocked out of the game here, I think. As these buildings are definitely going to go bye-bye. This builder, no chance of getting out of here, with Mirkwoods and Noldors in the range. And yeah, I fear that DJ Premier will be the first player knocked out of the game. Undoubtedly. Unless he's magically saved himself somehow. Which I highly doubt. There's no coming back from that. This is definitely his last orc pit. And there you go, DJ Premier has been defeated. Bushet's men have been triumphant over there. That leaves 4 players remaining. Kind of 3, if you don't count Bad Judgment. I don't know if he's really a factor in this game anymore, as he's pretty much in the same position that DJ Premier was in before he died. It's just a matter of no one's found his last structure yet. I don't think anyone knows it's there. Although Bushet actually probably does, because he does have Ivory Tower, and he did use it. So he undoubtedly can see it. Whether he knows or is going to do anything about it is another question. As I doubt he's really worried about that when there's a giant goblin horde of MauHuR there, or the Elves of Mirkwood across the map, who are a direct threat to his army. Continuing at Mirkwoods, and also going for Ents. Looks like he's got Treebeard queued up. Looks like he's actually popping him out right now. Treebeard, always nice to have. Treebeard actually gives leadership to Ents, which I wasn't aware of. I'm sure a lot of you did, but I had no idea, which is kind of cool. And Hobbit Summon going down from Bushet there. Being kind of slaughtered by these Noldors and Mirkwoods. Along with Haldir there. Let's actually take a look at the powers of the remaining players here. We have Rohan allies, summon Hobbit allies, and rallying call from Bushet. Men of the West player. Mirkwood has 15 power points. He could get a level 10 power. And he does have rally call. Bad Judgment, obviously he doesn't have a fortress, so it's irrelevant. And MauHuR, what does he have? He has Bat Cloud, or Cave Bats, Tan Land, Summon Wildman, and Spiderling allies. Interesting. Don't usually see the Spiderling allies get gotten before, like a Scavenger. But I'm sure he knows what he's doing, undoubtedly. And here you go, Summon Wildman going in the back of the base of Mirkwood. We'll begin destroying this level 3 barracks. That's gonna suck. As elves, you always don't want to lose your level 3 barracks. And these Spiderlings actually do decent building damage, if I recall correctly. At least they used to. I don't know about this patch. I'm sure they do. Seems there's an army of orcs coming out from Bad Judgment finally. Managed to scrape up an army here. Surprised he can even field that amount of troops. Although it's orcs, and I guess they are actually cheaper command point wise. Seems the Elven base will actually be okay. Treebeard actually burning to death there. Oh, that's unfortunate. As it didn't seem the Mirror of Galadriel saved him. I don't even know if it heals him or not. I'm sure it does, maybe. I think heal doesn't though, if I'm not mistaken. And it seems the goblins will have definitely enough numbers to crush this orc attack here. And it seems Bushet is returning home. He does have the fire upgrades on his trebuchets there. Even though he does have Dunedains, he still has some Gondor archers here. Not sure why, really. I guess they're not really bad. They are level 5 as well. So, really, no point in getting rid of them. Also, against a team like Goblins, Gondor archers are actually pretty good. Because Goblins die so quickly anyway. And there's a lot of Gondor archers in a battalion. So actually, they do pretty decent damage at killing Goblin warriors. We have Mountain Giants coming out from MauHuR. But he's about to lose level 3 siege works. Siege works. Fissure. And that's going to suck. Will he actually save? No, there's no way. Looks like Bushet actually switched targets and decided to attack the Mountain Giants. Probably would have been better to actually destroy this, or at least knock this down first. But I guess he does want these Mountain Giants dead, as Mountain Giants aren't cheap either. But he does lose both of his trebuchets there, which is unfortunate. What level's Gore Kill? Level 4. And Summon Rohan Allies has been summoned. Well, as summoned in the name, but you know what I mean. We have an Omer here as well, level 6. He'll be mighty useful for getting resources and such for kills. And MauHuR's looking to be in a bit of trouble. I would like to see fire arrows purchased by Bushet. I'm sure he has the money. That would probably be extremely helpful, actually. Bushet has almost 4 grand saved up. Possibly going for Gandalf? That would be good. Gandalf always a nice hero to have. Let's actually stay on Bushet. Just to see if he spends it. If I see a giant chunk of money go out, I know he'll buy Gandalf. Because Gandalf is the only hero in that team that is just like a fortune. Super fortune, at least. Let's see what's going on over here. Ent pushing forward with a small Elven army. There is a battle tower with some archers in it, though. Will prove mighty annoying to these elves. And yeah, but they do have an Ent there, so they will actually be able to deal with this. And he doesn't have fire arrows on his guys yet. Has he actually bought fire arrows? No, because he does not have a level 3 archery range. Well, that is unfortunate. Sees Bad Judgment is still alive, surprisingly enough. Up in the top right corner, just crammed in there. MauHuR having lots of Mountain Giants, lots of Goblin Warriors. That will prove mighty fearsome. Although he may need some Spider Riders, I think. to deal with these archers. But maybe not. Mountain Giants might be enough. And is that Legolas? Yep, we have a Legolas out from Mirkwood. He'll be pretty useful there. Now Bushet going off to fight the elves here. Goblins deciding to attack. Attack of opportunity. But there is a battle tower here, which will prove mighty annoying to the goblins of MauHuR. And as you see, he's having trouble actually destroying it. He's picking these hobbits actually picking off his mountain giants a little bit. Although these Dunedain Rangers definitely going to be essential. Actually, those are Ithilien Rangers. So actually, he's built the real deal. Also, Mild and were summoned to try and assist. But it looks like the goblin attack is going to be fended off. He did a decent amount of damage to the fort, but it was repaired immediately. So it's like nothing ever happened. And Bushet is more power points richer, I guess. Elves actually have summoned Ents now. So we'll see that come into play at some point. We have 15 power points from Bushet, so he could potentially get Cloud Break. Or maybe the other one. I don't know where he is in the power tree. We have Summon Watcher being purchased by Maher. That will prove mighty useful as well, as that can destroy an entire army, really. Like so. Just in time to see it pop up. Completely wreck Bushet's army. Chasing the elves off as well. Good use of the Watcher there. And now Bushet being backed into a corner a bit by the elves and the goblins. Although he is definitely the team to do it with, because he does have these defensive towers and the great archers to help. As Ithiliens and Dunedain are excellent at killing goblins. Yeah, it seems the goblins are actually under attack by Mirkwood now. So the elves are going to try to take out the goblins. The Ents being summoned down. You can no longer hear. I'm using headphones. Hear a bit of yelling. But we'll wait for that sound effect to wear off. I'm glad that is being removed in patch 2.0 or 2.02 version 5. As that it will be a nice change indeed. Tom Bombadil being summoned down. Looks like from Bushet. That was what he purchased with his powers. And now Bushet will begin moving in. And it seems there's a 3-person scuffle here. Bushet looking to do some damage to MauHuR, as the elves are pretty much dead over here now. And has been killed. The army of the elves has been killed. The heroes probably ran away, I would imagine. But now, Fortress of Bushet under fire, and is probably going to go down. Oh, you should not be targeting this tunnel. You need to take out this fortress. Or this, one of these 2 buildings needs to go down. Hopefully he noticed. Yeah, it looks like he's moved his thing. Actually targeting the mountain giant. Still not a bad choice, as mountain giants are very destructive. Oh, the mountain giant actually taking out the trebuchet. And it looks like... Well, I was about to say he's going to save his fortress, but no. There's a Boromir and Aragorn here. Fortunately, Aragorn's only level... Well, now he's level 2. And that Blade Master is going to secure that fortress death. No way to stop that. And that is unfortunate. And now Maher's base is left in tatters. Will he actually be killed off before Bad Judgment? That would be kind of amusing. This Bad Judgment is still hiding in the corner. I'm sure the other teams have forgotten about him entirely. He has pretty much been dormant over there. Maybe occasionally moving out. Seems like he is doing that just right now. Yeah, Maher's lost a lot of stuff here. He lost his fort. He lost his level 3 fissure. Although it's not completely destroyed, so it can possibly rebuild if Bushet doesn't come back and destroy it once and for all. Looks like Mirkwood's actually taken out a few of these farms here. Seems there's a marketplace on the field for Bushet here that will be giving him a economic boost, that's for sure. Increases resources from farms by 12%. So that is always nice to have, especially when you have a ton of farms across the map. Like he has been expanding across the bottom. So his economy will be quite nice indeed. Let's actually take a look at it. Well, it's pretty down there now. But he can actually hold 1,090 troops. As can Mirkwood. Bad Judgment only holding 100 and MauHuR 750. I'd say Bushet definitely has the advantage in this game at the point we're at, because he has more power points, he has a stronger army, I feel, than the Elves. Elves do have Noldors, which are excellent, but I feel the men's army is actually stronger, especially with these fire rock trebuchets coming up, backed up by these Dunedain Rangers. It's just really hard to stop. And then you have Boromir and Aragorn to top it off. And Gandalf, there he is. I was right. Oh, Bad Judgment's actually been defeated. Possibly he quit out or he was destroyed. I guess it really doesn't matter, but nonetheless, I did not see. And now Bushet will be pushing into MauHuR's base, taking out all the rest of the building rubble, taking out all these goblin caves. MauHuR has actually rebuilt up here a little bit. He does have a tunnel there. And he does have a builder at least, so he's not dead by any means. Still having a goblin horde, although a horde of goblin warriors isn't really much against a Boromir with a bunch of archers, as he can just freeze them and they can destroy all of them at once, pretty much. So MauHuR's army isn't going to do a whole lot, I would imagine. As well as Bushet still having defenses. Quite substantial defenses as well. And yeah, Bushet definitely poised to win this game at this point. The Elves still have a chance though. Where's Golem? Oh, there's actually a fortress going down from MauHuR. So maybe the comeback is real. That will remain to be seen, I am sure. And some Roham allies going down, taking out this goblin army pretty easily. As well as down here, taken out pretty easily. Like I said, they were not going to be able to do much. Goblin warriors at this point in the game, I feel, are kind of useless in a way. When there's so many of these rangers around, you really need spider riders and half-term marauders and stuff like that to compete. But at the point, like the place that MauHuR's in, it'd be very difficult for him to do that. He's desperately trying to get a fortress back up. I think Bushet actually knows it's there because he does have the ivory tower. And the Elves are also harassing MauHuR in the top left there. So it's just generally not a good day to be MauHuR in this game. Seems Rohirrim actually taking out quite a few resource buildings. Trying to cripple his opponent's economy a little bit. It won't cripple it, that's for sure. There's tons of trees everywhere. But definitely every little bit helps, and you get the power points nonetheless. So those 25 powers make a difference, that's for sure. And there's Golem. I wonder if anyone can see him. It says enemy stealth unit discovered. And I think at this point in the game, if Bushet was to secure the ring, he would actually be in a good point to build it. As he probably has the strongest economy. Although he is spending his money quite frivolously, as you might imagine. Just to keep up with the other guys. Hard to say. And the army's clashing here. A wizard blast going off from Gandalf, taking out a good chunk of the Elves. It's like a lightning sword being used as well. And Aragorn using his Blade Master. And these Elves are just being carved up here. Not looking pretty. Although his trebuchet did go a little too far forward and it will be picked off there. Noldor is actually doing a good job, but are still being picked off by the heroes and the units. Gondor here. And I think the Elves are going to lose this fight by the heroes alone. And Ents being summoned down to try and attack Bushet's base. One of them going down pretty much immediately. It's fire arrows from these Gondor archers actually, setting them ablaze. But they might get the fort. Nope, men have rebuild. That's right. I really don't think men should have rebuild. That's kind of why I like patch 1.06 of Battle of Middle-earth, because they removed rebuild from the men. I feel that was actually a good choice, in a way. Because the men are just so strong. In pretty much every way, they don't really need a rebuild. But, definitely nice to have if you are the men, nonetheless. You would think the Elves need rebuild of all the teams, as they have like the weakest structures, I believe. But no. Nope. No rebuild for them. And it looks like Rohirrim coming out to destroy some more farms. Always a good idea. being led by Omer, so he'll actually level up and give resources for kills as well. Which, as you imagine, is nice. Let's actually take a look at MauHuR's base now. Looks like he is starting to come back a little bit. He doesn't really have much in the way of production buildings. He has one goblin cave, and that's it. He does have a fortress, though. He does have lumber mills galore, though. Look at all these lumber mills. Definitely taking advantage of the trees in the area. It's got to be said. And I wonder how many extra command points he's used on just those little guys there. Aren't they like 5 apiece? No, they're actually 1.
I rule atop the dead mountain king.
I think they're 5 in different patch. Oh, we actually have an Azog or Azog. I guess it's probably Azog. So he will be a little helpful for the goblins. Goblin heroes are all strong, pretty much. I think the weakest one is Shelob, but still not a bad hero. Just probably the least used one, of course. Level Gandalf. Level 5. He's getting there. And if Aragorn actually gets to level 10, oh man, that's going to be scary. As the Army of the Dead is going to be pretty much unstoppable. That is quite strong. That's another thing. The men, not only having rebuild, they have like Army of the Dead, they have Earthquake, which pretty much cripple a base. They have so much good stuff. It's ridiculous. They have great cavalry, great archers. They're probably the most, I think they have the most heroes in the game per team. It's just they're a bit strong. But they're still pretty balanced as far as things go, in this patch at least, which is nice. I do love me some balance, and that's what I love about Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02. Looks like Golem's still alive. No one claiming his life, claiming the precious as their own. We have Gorkill out here as well. And it seems both the elves and the men will begin pushing in on Maher, the goblin. Gandalf, come on, Wizard Blast. Now is the time for a Wizard Blast, if ever there was one. I'm just gonna wait here until you Wizard Blast. No, he's actually using Lightning Sword. That works too. Lightning Sword is pretty effective. I don't know if it's as good as Wizard Blast at killing big groups of guys, but pretty good nonetheless. Some weren't being used by Maher though. As you see, he did buy that. He's only sitting 575 command points, as the other teams are just way over 1,000. Oh no, the men of the Army of the Dead. They seem to have missed that. It was summoned down. I didn't hear it because something else was happening. But probably took out the Elven army, I would imagine. He also has enough for Cloud Break, and then he can go for his second power. Or level 25 power. And yeah, MauHuR saving his base a bit, but still in desperate desperate times. Things are not looking good over here. There's still a lot of heroes and a lot of Rohirrim running around. And the elves, I believe as soon as the elves get hit with a earthquake, they're just going to be GG. As it's just going to be completely destructive on them. Like everything here is going to destroy. Or at least get close to it. And the men can come in and clean up. But it seems the elves are pushing out a bit. We have Glorfindel level 4 there. He's continuing to expand, keeping his economy strong. Definitely a good idea. So we have Aragorn still level 7, Gandalf still level 6. Boromir is level 10 though. There's the ring. Ah, surely you saw him. You walked through him. But I guess he has bigger fish to fry. Not like MauHuR can actually use the ring at this point. So no point in doing that. But he will begin destroying some farms. Bushet will be forced to react as he sends his hero trio over there, as well as his army, to deal with that goblin menace. Rohirrim continuing to take out Malorn trees. This has got to be a real pain to deal with as the elves. And we have a Tom Bombadil being summoned down somewhere. Not quite sure where. I hear him, but I don't see him. Down here? Yes. Down here. The lone white dot on the map. chasing off the Elven army. Looks like he did get a decent sonic song on a few troops there. So Tom Bombadil is just so strong. He has the ability to just make the entire army fear him. Ah, the Watcher going down, destroying the army of Bushet. And once again, the Goblins will be safe. And it looks like he is going for half-dome Marauders now, which is a good call. Those will be great against the Rohirrim. They'll be great against the other troops as well. Although I still feel he needs some Spider Riders. Possibly. It's my opinion. I could be wrong. But I believe like getting around these armies to get these like trebuchets, the Spider Riders would be a lot easier than walking through an army to get to it with half-dome Marauders or something, you know. Another lightning sword going off. Again, doing tons of damage there. This lightning sword, as you see, it does a lot of damage to the enemy units. So does Aragorn. Yeah. And MauHuR's still in a pickle. Not a good situation. As you see, Bushet is expanding his farm presence quite far here. He is deep in MauHuR's base with farms over here. And which is a good, always a good play. Just keep your economy, expand if you can. And you may lose a few farms here and there, but just having them up for a time is better than not having them at all. Is a good way to think about it. Although destroying them before the opponent gets power points off it probably is better if they start attacking it. And now the Elves thinking about attacking Bushet. Will Mirkwood engage? Mirkwood does have his upgrades. Do we have fire arrows finally? These guys don't even have fire arrows yet. Equip them! I know you have them. I've seen them. He does have fire arrows, but he's forgetting to upgrade them on a few of his battalions for some reason. I guess there's a lot going on. As he is sieging MauHuR and using his heroes. Definitely microing his heroes around. You don't want to lose them. They are extremely expensive. And also very powerful. Oh, we've got Spiderling Summon going down. It looks like Wildman going down as well. And we'll chase off the army of Bushet. Meanwhile, the Elves will begin picking off little troops here and there. The range on the Noldors is insane. Although they don't outrange these trebuchets, it seems. So they will begin taking damage. So he needs to be a bit careful. Although he could actually shoot those. And as you see, Noldors actually take out trebuchet expansions extremely fast. So if you just focus those down, you may take them out very quickly. And Summon going down. Possibly could do a lot of damage, although this pin right here is taking a lot of fire damage from the arrows. So potentially he won't be alive too long. Cloud Break being used by Bushet there, as the Elves are cowering in fear, as the Goblins are. Looks like MauHuR is actually coming back pretty strong though. His army's looking pretty fierce. He has a few heroes here. Let's go back over here, because there's a lot of action. Eagles being summoned down. And the army of Bushet taking a massive amount of damage. Oh no, did Gandalf just die there? Oh no, it's an elf. Noldor warrior died. Look at Gandalf from far away for some reason. There's actually a white dot here. Oh, good thing I got over here in time. And it seems the base, was it hit by an earthquake? Yes, I knew it. Once again, missing a 25 power. I apologize, but it's hard to be everywhere at once. But now Mirkwood poised to lose the game here, as he has lost his fortress, he's lost all his good production buildings, and these Rohirrim will finish up the base without much trouble, as there's not much left to stop them here, except for a few pikes that aren't going to do much. I mean, pikes are good against Rohirrim, so he obviously doesn't want to charge through them. This could actually be the end. Will Mirkwood be destroyed? No, he has built somewhere else. Possibly in the bottom left. Let's find that last structure of his. Ah, it moved. Possibly that is the last structure. I mean, the men will see it regardless because he does have the ivory tower. And that is the power of the ivory tower, is you always know where your opponents are. And I think knowledge is power. I'm not sure where I heard that, but I'm sure it was some 90s show of some kind. Or it's just a saying from some famous person. Who knows? Lots of goblin warriors here, though. Still got some half trolls in the bunch. And elves are not quite dead yet. He still has a couple builders left. Looks like he's throwing down another fort. Although hobbits are trying to destroy it. They actually stop it from being made. And I believe he didn't cancel it. Well, although he still has a ton of money, so it's hard to say. He definitely wants to get that fortress back up, but he does not want to lose his builders. He needs to be careful. Oh no. Lots of Dunedain Rangers being summoned down, trying to kill this builder. Builder's leading them in a wild goose chase. But to no avail. And it looks like the last players will be MauHuR and Bushet. And that should be one epic face-off. It'll be much easier to focus on two players fighting each other, I would imagine. Although the elves are not dead yet. Well, they do lose their builder as soon as it pops up from finishing the structure. It is picked off by these Dunedain Rangers. And the elves will quickly be destroyed as soon as something else comes to attack. As soon as the MauHuR is destroyed, there you go. Mirkwood has been defeated, leaving two players remaining. The mighty Bushet versus the mighty MauHuR. We'll see who wins. We have a Fire Drake. That could be a game changer right there. As Fire Drake has the power to take out an entire army. So that is definitely a terrifying prospect to face. Although they are easily killed by archers and pikemen, so you have to be careful. And Gandalf's level 7. Oh man. I think the Men of the West heroes are going to come into play really strong. We have an attack from Gorkil being led in the west there. A worm being summoned down. Spiderlings being summoned in. Wildmen as well. Army of the Dead being summoned defensively. Take out all these Wildmen and Spiderlings and possibly the worm as well. And that will stop too much destruction from happening in the back of the Bushet space. I feel that's actually a good use of the power. And the Watcher being summoned down, taking out a majority of Bushet's troops up here. For a few pikes here and there, as well as Omer and Gandil, Aragorn. Not quite level 10. He does want to level him up. Actually, Bushet having a decent sized force left, it seems. MauHuR could be in trouble. Cloudbreak being thrown down by Bushet as well. It will freeze the non-existent troops of, of the Goblins. As it does not freeze giants or Fire Drakes. Fire Drakes sneaking up. Oh, no. And burning in the army of Bushet there. I almost thought he ran too far into the pikes. He possibly could have actually saved that if he wouldn't have went so far in. But sometimes those Fire Drakes go a little too far. And it looks like Gorkil will be repelled off by Tom Bombadil. Let's take a look at the powers real quick. None of the 25 powers are recharged yet. But it looks like Bushet has most of the powers. I think he's only missing like one or two, maybe one. I'm not quite sure. But definitely having a PowerPoint advantage over MauHuR, who just summoned Balrog. I'm ready for this to happen. Everyone loves a good Balrog, including myself. Balrog is fun. And Balrog will actually kill your army. Because it's always summoned under an army. That's the best way to use it. Summon under an army, destroy the army, and then fly it over to the base, start destroying all the key structures. And those level 3 farms, which are keeping your opponent alive. And that could end the game there, you know. MauHuR has a 900 point limit, so he can actually field a decent army now. His economy isn't too bad now. And there's the the Balrog being summoned under these guys here. Not killing all of them, but Gorkil, well, Gorkil can't take that many, even if they are all wounded. He'll begin flying over his Balrog to the enemy base. Looks like he landed right on some archers there. He needs to move, though. MauHuR? Seems like MauHuR is occupied with his something else. Maybe his Gorkil. But he definitely needs to get him over there, as this guy is on a timer. Yeah, and Gandalf shows up. Gandalf's actually pretty good against Balrog, I think. He is when in the battle familiar with one first level. What I've noticed is lightning sword does a lot of damage. Sorry, light actually does a ton of damage to him. Look at that. Almost killing Balrog. Lightning sword will actually finish off Balrog, I think. And yes, Gandalf is the Balrog killer. And down goes Balrog. Ouch. So yeah, definitely worth his weight in gold. Gandalf is... What the hell? We have boats! My goodness. Not every day do you see boats. But it looks like some boats have been purchased by Bushet. Can't say if that was a good choice or not, as I've never used a boat in Rise of the Witch King, but I hate boats in general as a thing. The thing I hate most about boats is you can't decommission them. There's no, like, return to fortress, sell this thing, so you get stuck with the boats. There may be a way, or a trick to do it, but I don't know it. So, for now, that's what I'm going to go with. Looks like the Goblin army fended off that little attack there. There is another attack from Bushet, led by Gandalf himself, trying desperately to get to level 10. Oh god, Aragorn's level 9. That's going to be hard to deal with as goblins. A level 10 Gandalf and a level 10 Aragorn. You can only imagine the destruction that will be wrought by that. Rohirrim getting a great trample on those warriors. Not having a chance in the world. Wildmen being summoned down, spiders being summoned down again in the back of Bushet's base. This time, no Army of the Dead coming to get rid of them. As Army of the Dead has way longer recharge timer, I guess. So they will begin doing a lot of damage. These are some very large spiders. I mean, they're not Shelob size, but they're pretty good size. Compare that to a Wildman, it's still pretty big. Definitely terrifying. Goblins are everywhere now, look at this. MauHuR doing a great job of taking out all these farms of Bushet. Look at this. He's got goblins going every which direction looking for farms to pick off. And this is how you play goblins, ladies and gentlemen. Send guys everywhere. Fire Drake coming out. Getting a bit too close to those pikes. And also fire breathing the wrong direction. I'm not sure what he's shooting. Ah, hopefully he doesn't lose that. Its time is not yet done. Little goblin attack on the base here. Not going to get past this tower though. The defense of Bushet is very strong. With these towers and these trebuchet expansions, it's going to be hard for the goblins to break through without something big. Some big attack or something of that nature. And Balrog tried, but you saw he was dealt with quite nicely by Gandalf, so even future, Gandalf's still here. Unless he kills Gandalf, Balrog is going to be pretty hard to use. Unless he uses him while he's in his base. And that might be the best thing to do. So we'll hear him go over the top left though. Bushet also doing a great job of taking out farms and tunnels, I guess, of MauHuR. It's his cavalry. As the cavalry can go everywhere very quickly. Looks like some archers are summoned down to deal with these goblin warriors. They'll pick them up quite easily. They also do great damage against half-troll marauders, especially when they're not armored. As you see, they just eat through them. And what's going on here? Gandalf still trying to hit level 10. Aragorn finally level 10. And things are looking quite bleak for MauHuR now. The Aragorn level 10 and a Gandalf that will soon be level 10. I don't see how goblins can win, if I'm honest. He's already kind of backed into a corner. Although that was kind of intentional, I guess, as he built his stuff in a corner. But I guess everyone starts in a corner if you think about it. Well, not everyone. The people in the middles don't. So, disregard that statement entirely. And, yeah, MauHuR's just throwing his goblin warriors at the tunnels, at the archer things. I don't think that's worth it. It's not really doing anything. It's like the worm going down there. Most of Bushet's base is still intact, for the most part. He doesn't have his upgraded building. His forge is destroyed, it looks like. Seems both players are just fighting over resource space. plenty of map guys you can share. Although no one shares in Middle-earth. Should probably turn these pikemen around and start attacking. As they're taking flanking damage. And they can actually kill these goblin warriors. Because they are armored and weaponed. Upgraded. He's just ignoring them and losing these pikes. I'm not quite sure why. Target these. There you go. Thank you. And yeah, I think one well-placed earthquake will probably end this game. Earthquake and army that is on off cooldown. Alright, we're just gonna leave it on Bushet screen.
Come, Rangers. Let us scout
We'll watch Bushet for a while. As he is the player to watch. He's got the stuff ready to go. Earthquake going down. Ooh. Pretty destructive. And that takes out most of the goblin base. Didn't take out the tower expansions or anything, but nonetheless, pretty good. And in come the Rohirrim. Rally call going down on them. Unfortunately, he didn't get rid of these expansions, but they will be quickly taken out by these Rohirrim. They will have the power to do so. Uh-oh, Watcher coming down. Army of the Dead going down. So many powers being used. Is that Aragorn's Army of the Dead? It looks mini, yeah. As this Army of the Dead is still off cooldown. That can be used to defend his base, possibly. Let's take a look at his base. Well, MauHuR did a decent amount of damage in the back. The fortress is nowhere near in danger. There's actually still Rohirrim back here. See here. MauHuR is still alive, giving them their buff. So MauHuR may be in danger of losing the game at this point. Aragorn also using his Blade Master, cutting through these guys. They can get rid of this level 3 fissure. All the reinforcements of the goblins will be cut off. As you see, MauHuR doesn't have any... Well, I guess he has a couple goblin caves over here, but I'm not sure what those are going to do. They're just goblin caves. But at this point, what could you do? Uh-oh. I guess Homer will be fine. Homer is fighting pikemen, but he's fine. He's got plenty of guys to back him up. This fire drake definitely needs to die. I'm sure Bushet agrees, as he's chasing it frantically, trying to kill it. And being kited through these arrow towers in the process. I wonder how much Omer's spear throw would do to it. Probably not a whole lot, I would imagine. As Omer's spear throw doesn't actually do much damage. And the fissure being thrown down over here now. So he's relocating. But if Bushet is using his ivory tower like he should be, which is off cooldown, and he would see that. He can't quite see that far, I don't think. Actually, he can see the fissure without using the ivory tower, with just his passive sight. The fire drake is killed there. Balrog, though, coming up. Depths of hell. And will destroy that trebuchet that was threatening his fortress. And Army of the Dead being summoned to take out an army there. Azog being brutally slaughtered. Forcing Gorkill to flee to this tunnel. And once he's in there, he'll be completely safe. And this Army of the Dead will dissipate pretty soon without doing a whole lot. Seems they're really keen on getting that Gorkill, but alas, it's not going to happen. Gandalf trailing the Balrog with such unholy zeal. He is desperately trying to kill it. Lightning Sword going to go down again. Actually, what was that? Lightning Sword like went off but didn't. Oh god, we have the dragon as well. And one beastie goes down, another one remains. Dragon looking to do a lot of damage to Bushet's base. And unfortunately, I don't think Bushet has much here in the way of army. I mean, he does have his he does have some Rohirrim. He does have his heroes. I guess he actually does have a decent sized army. Just very spread out. Goblins don't really have a follow-up army though. This is probably not going to get very far. It's possible it could get decently far. Will remain to be seen, I guess. And yeah, Rohirrim being summoned down with the help of Aragorn up here. And Boromir, the hobbits. They will take this fortress, undoubtedly. And Cloudbreak being thrown down as well, leaving that army frozen. Dragon going down, killing off most of that army though. So the time has expired on the dragon, and he will fly off to better lands. Now goes MauHuR's fortress. The Fire Drake descending into the earth atop his throne there. And without that fortress, MauHuR is looking pretty weak. He has a couple caves and a fissure, but that's not going to do the trick. Well, his economy has still got to be going pretty well, as he does have a... Yeah, he still has over 1,100 command point limit, so he does have tons of farms. And as you see on the map, there's orange dots everywhere, so he's by no means out of resources. As you see, Bushet just has tons of money. If he would have got the ring, he could have easily bought the ring hero like 10 years ago. I'm not sure why no one actually went after it. But as you see, he's still stuck with these boats, and that was the problem I was talking about. As you can't really get rid of them. Although, at this point, I don't think it matters, because they only take up a few... What is it, like a... I can't actually look. Where's their... Their thing's right here. Ah, he's building a bombardment ship. Interesting. What a way to go out. They only take 25, so that's only 50 command points total that he can't actually get off the ocean. Oh, just in time for a word of power. Nice. I love seeing that power. Rarely do you see a level 10 Gandalf, so it's always a joy to see. Yeah, all the men of the West Hero is pretty much level 10, I think. And that is an unstoppable force in itself. And I think is Gorkil even level 10? Very close. So pretty soon you can actually summon Fire Drakes, which is pretty destructive in itself. But the men do know where the base is, and that is the biggest problem the goblins will have. Goblins also have no way to deal with the ship. This bombardment ship able to shoot so far. Look at the range on that thing. As long as he has sight on it, he knows it's there and he can shoot it. And there's no way MauHuR can stop it, as MauHuR has no flying units and no boats. He hasn't even captured his thing there, because why would he, generally? So Bushet employing unusual tactics here to great effect, I feel. Was it necessary? Probably not. But still, not every day do you see a bombardment ship used. In fact, a lot of players would frown on that, but not Rise of the Witch King, probably. I know people will get very angry in patch 1.06 if you use one of those, because they're very, very frowned upon. Just leave it at that. But yeah, this has been quite the epic game, gotta say. We've seen tons of powers, level 10 heroes, lots of stuff. Lots of attacks, lots of defends. And there's the 3 Fire Drakes from Gorkil, burning his way through the defenses of Bushet. Wouldn't it be amazing if MauHuR actually won the game? I think it would. Definitely in the underdog position at the moment. But he is doing great damage to Bushet's base here. And if MauHuR actually kept the pressure up, he might actually overwhelm him. Unfortunately, the men are returning home, and once they're there, they should easily be able to defend their base. So he's throwing down his marketplace again. That's how much Omer's Spear Throw does to the worm, in case you're wondering. After it's been pelted with fire arrows and trebuchet fire. Not a whole lot. Definitely not the best thing to use. There is a goblin fortress up in the top left now. Oh goodness. Yeah, he definitely needs to cut off any of these guys from getting out of here. He doesn't want these builders getting away. Although they can use the tunnel network to get all around the map, so it's kind of hard to stop him. There's Golem. Still running wild. But I fear he will not be claimed. And the Ring of Power taken for their own. Will this be the final push, though? The men. Let's actually take a look at the powers. Will he have the power to stop him? Oh, he does have Earthquake back. I think this will be the end. If not very close. There is a Watcher. But other than that, it doesn't look like MauHuR has anything to deal with it. And that could be bad news. Drogoth being summoned out, though. Oh goodness, that could be useful. I'm not sure how much the Sorry Light from Gandalf does against Drogoth, but I'd imagine it does a ton. As it's just a very powerful skill in general. And yeah, once the armies of the men get over there, I think this fortress will be going bye-bye very quickly. What's that? Oh, it's actually already being hit from the ocean. I forgot all about this boat. God, I'm looking for it and it's just so far away that I'm looking in the wrong place. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but it shoots from so far away. He actually needs to send Drogoth to take out that boat, I think. But that will prove very difficult to do. Looks like Gandalf is actually chasing down Drogoth, trying to use the Sorry Light, probably. I'm wanting to see how much it does. So maybe he will catch him, maybe he won't. Hopefully before the white blob gets to the fortress over there. Oh, here it goes. Yeah, almost killing him. Holy cow. Looks like Gandalf actually got poison stung, but it didn't do anything. He had like a bubble. That was weird. Does Gandalf get protection from poison at level 10? 'Cause that'd be kind of cool. And Lightning Sword will kill Gorkill. You see his animation is glitched out. Now he's just gliding around until his death. And that is a big loss for MauHuR, though. MauHuR, as you see, his economy is... It's building up quickly, but he is behind, for sure. Bushet has 5 grand saved up. And also, all his mega powers saved up. Bushet definitely having all his powers, because he has 34 power points remaining. Which means he can't spend them. And I think this might be the last attack. Although he does probably want to split up his army a bit. Because the Watcher is definitely going to happen. And that, I don't want to see it happen. The men need to win. At this point, I think. Not that I'm not rooting for MauHuR. If he won, I think that'd be amazing. But I think the men have an overwhelming advantage in this game at the point we're at. Down goes the Earthquake. Some Rohan allies being thrown out there. Watcher defense, as you might expect. Cave bats on top, lowering their defense. Yeah, Gandalf like bubble comes up all the time. It's pretty cool. It looks like the main bulk of the army actually wasn't touched though. Just mainly the summon Rohan allies, which actually most of them weren't killed. Army of the Dead being used to take out another attack by the Goblins. So any attacks MauHuR is trying is just being foiled. Bushet space being fixed up pretty nicely. Balrog being summoned down under the army, it looks like. Made a few of them go flying. Quickly get out of there. Gandalf right in tow. And a Sorry Light will definitely go down. Right on top of him. Ouch. And they'll begin chasing off that Balrog. They need to take this fortress. What Bushet really needs is siege weaponry, and I don't think he has a siege works anymore. Unfortunately. Yeah, it doesn't look like he does. Such a big map for 2 people. So, like, especially a team like Goblins, he can just go through a tunnel, come out here, and then build over here. Makes it very difficult for Bushet to finish him off. As he has to move his army all the way across the map. But he will at least take out the space up top here. His archers actually aren't doing anything, oddly enough. There are Goblin warriors to shoot, but they're not shooting. Yeah, looks like they will fix that problem. And I'm pretty sure the Balrog did not make it over to his destination. Because I don't see him anywhere. And the heroes of the Men of the West have gone back up north, so the Balrog's definitely gone. And yeah, how much longer can MauHuR last here? Is the question, I guess. Hopefully not too much longer, because my voice is feeling a bit sore, if I'm honest. But, I guess we'll see. Well, looks like a little darkness was thrown down on top of the map. Giving the goblins the much needed buff they need. Look at those lumber mill guys working with that sweet, sweet buff. But yeah, there's just no troops for goblins, really. They do have a Drogoth still. Other than that, not a whole lot. It's like MauHuR actually going with Shelob now. Interesting. It looks like the dragon is off cooldown as well. Possibly used as a defensive mechanism, or maybe the worm is a defensive mechanism. Trying to make words and failing here. Alright, we have a big attack on the fortress of MauHuR now. He's definitely going to need to save it. Possibly a worm would be good. Dragon's also great. Bats on top to weaken them all. Dragon should make short work of all of these guys here. I think that bubble comes up every time he gets attacked with fire. It looks like Asari Light didn't do much to the dragon at all. So it's not very effective. It's a good thing to know. I wasn't aware of that. And now you know as well if you did not. Looks like the dragon repositioning all the way across the map. Looks like he can really reposition. I was not aware he could go so far. And the men of the west actually don't have the power to finish off the goblins now. He's running home to defend his base. MauHuR much needed time to expand his army, his base once again. Looks like a lone tower has been summoned there. Yeah, both players definitely having all their powers. We still worm off cooldown. Oh yeah, that boat. I forgot that was there. Possibly it got moved away while he was moving his entire army or something. It is highly possible. But now it has targeted the fortress once again. We've been picking it off. And this builder is going to get killed there. Oh! Just in the nick of time throwing down a wall hub probably, but being killed nonetheless. Gandalf showing up to take care of Shelob. Lightning Sword going to do a lot of damage. Frying all those little goblins. Although ideally he doesn't want it to target the goblins at all. A lot of it being wasted on them. But I guess it killed them nonetheless. And the rest of them will kill that pretty easily. And while Bushet's fortress is still standing strong, not a whole lot is around it. If you think about it. He has a few farms, which are great. This one's only making 2. That's what happens when you put too many farms too close together. Even with the buff, it's still pretty useless. It's just there for command points, I guess. Yeah, it looks like Shelob was killed. Looks like Drogoth is returning home there. He needs to get rid of this boat immediately with Drogoth. Although he does have 2 Elven warships defending it. So Drogoth might have a hard time actually destroying it. Although he is level 6. Maybe a Fireflight might be enough to actually destroy this thing. I guess we'll see. Looks like he does actually see there is a Drogoth moving a little bit away. And it looks like he's actually keeping Gandalf close enough to defend the base there, or defend the boat. There's actually a decent sized army here. Is Bushet about to lose the game? He might lose his fort here. And if Bushet loses his fortress, that's going to be it for Bushet. Not able to finish off MauHuR. And he's definitely going to lose the fort. Does he ever rebuild? No, it's already been used. Oh my god. What a turnaround. And I thought Bushet was going to win this game. But now Bushet is no longer having a base. Where's his structures now? One might ask. So much stuff going down here. Azog running for his life. The Watcher being summoned out of the water. And this must be the last building. Hopefully the goblins see it. Does he see it? Oh, yes, yes he does. And I think Bushet will be knocked out of the game here. All MauHuR needs to do is send more guys. And Goblins, that is definitely the strength they have, is more guys. Especially the strong half-troll marauders. And Bushet not able to use his power points anymore as well. Keep that in mind, even if he did have Army of the Dead to save his base, he can't. But he does actually have that Army of the Dead. So that is the thing. Oh, this is going to be really close. Bushet being defeated. Oh, crazy. And MauHuR taking that game by force. What a man. What a legend. But yeah, that was a pretty great game, actually. Lots of action. Lots of craziness. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I definitely did. I love a good free-for-all. And I hope you do as well. So I will see you in the next cast of The Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02. See you next time.